The Boxtrolls. From the list of animated films this year, this was one that I was really excited for. Not just because it's from Laika, the same studio that brought us Coraline and Paranorman, but also from its really clever advertising. I mean, check this out.
They've got everybody here in their hands. They've got everybody here in their hands. They've got you and they've got me in their hands. They've got the whole world in their hands.
It's like if it's giving us a glimpse of their stop-motion craftsmanship, so it would make us curious to know what does the end result look like. But anyways, will Laika really think outside of the box with this movie? Or are they simply trolling us? Let's find out. The story. If there's one thing that's able to grab our interest here, it's not the story of the Boxtrolls movie, but more the story of the Boxtrolls themselves. The best thing to say regarding its writing is that it's really creative with the way they explain the Boxtrolls and the people's perspectives of them, thinking that they're monsters and have lores of them like the tale of the Trubshaw baby. Not only that, but even how the world functions is interesting to experience, where the Boxtrolls live in their own underground civilization with a fascination of machinery, and the human world, or in the town they're in, they live in this monarchy type of ruling where their position is determined by their hats, and the people have a great fond of cheese. Oh wait, that's why it's called Cheese Bridge. Oh, now I get it. Okay, that's pretty dumb. However, that's the only interesting part of the story. When it comes to the plot itself, it's just dull and very predictable, which sounds very similar to the story of Tarzan. I mean, even the main characters put their hands together to show that Eggs is actually human.
See? You're not like them. You're one of us. You're a boy, Eggs.
But the reason why the movie has this problem is because it's being shown from the wrong perspective. The movie is actually not about the Boxtrolls. It's about Eggs and his journey in the human world while also going out to save his Boxtroll family. I'll explain this more when I get to the characters, but it's just that neither Eggs or most of the people he encounters are all that interesting. It's not the story itself that works, it's everything else around it. The animation. This is what I was excited to see the most from this film, and it really doesn't disappoint. From beginning to end, the animation is always fascinating to watch. Since I mentioned how the concept of this movie's world is interesting, so is the looks of it. Where the human world captures the Victorian-style setting, the underground world shows what the Boxtrolls can do by inventing so many contraptions out of random junk from up above. As for the designs, it's a little bit like what they did with Paranorman, where everyone seems to be designed around the Boxtrolls, since they themselves are pretty ideal depictions of a troll. Speaking of which, the Boxtrolls are highly creative in terms of their design with all the different ways they use their box, like how they sleep as a group or to hide from threats. And for the character animation, a lot of the movements feel very smooth, which really is something to admire in the craftsmanship of Laika, giving us so much to see in one screen in order to create this unique world. Trust me, it's no easy task for a stop-motion feature to look this good. Although I think I may have spotted a few bits where they might have used some CGI, but it's not really that distracting. But I haven't even mentioned the best part of the animation. This movie offers a lot of great action scenes, even more than their previous films. They're fast-paced, the camera goes into many different directions, and not to mention that it features a lot of Snatcher's unique vehicles, which really helps make the scenes memorable. The animation here is a great example of the amount of creativity and effort Laika puts into their films. The characters. Remember when I said that most of the characters aren't that interesting? Yeah, here's why. A lot of these characters have very little to offer with a very generic personality used in other films and sometimes aren't even likable. Eggs is just a fish out of water hero that's more like a box troll than a person, and Winnie is more annoying and can often act like a little brat.
Expert. How nice. I adore names from the Bible.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, whoa. No. Kiss a lady's hand.
And keep in mind, these are the main characters the movie follows, so you can see how the film can fall flat a bit since our leads are just uninteresting. What's worse is that some of the others aren't even better. There's Lord Portly Rind, who's so obsessed with cheese that it makes him pretty dumb and douchey to other characters, especially to his own daughter, while Snatcher's henchmen like Mr. Pickles and Mr. Trout always question if they're the good guys or bad guys, with Mr. Gristle being the crazy one. But then we have the Boxtrolls themselves, who, like I said, are very creative in terms of their design, but not a lot went into their personality. They're a bit like the Minions in Despicable Me, where they're only identifiable by how they look and their names, like Fish, Shoe, Sparky, and more. But for their personality, they're all very similar, but still likable. And then there's Archibald Snatcher, who is the best character of them all. He is so determined to be in the high ranks and getting a white hat that he'll stop at nothing to get rid of every single box troll. And he even knows some of the secrets about them that no one else does. I just love this guy! There's so much that went into him, and Ben Kingsley brought in such a wonderful performance to the character. But outside of Snatcher and maybe some of the box trolls, the characters aren't really worth remembering. Sure, this is definitely not Laika's best, but The Boxtrolls is still an enjoyable movie. While it does have a weak story, the highly creative animation and some of the characters do make the experience satisfying to watch. If you are a fan of their previous films like Coraline and Paranorman, then go check it out. If not, well, it wouldn't hurt to wait until you can rent it. And if you do go watch it, stick around when the credits roll for some nice 2D animation and a cute little Easter egg. Also, after watching this, you might have some spastic moments of randomly shouting out, "Jenny!" You'll understand when you see it.
This night, baby, is that from shore? Quite forgot to lock the door. And as soon as he began to snore, the Boxtrolls came into this drawer. Oh, baby! Oh! So